Well, hey folks, I know it's been a long time, and I think you know why. If you follow the channel, I have moved my entire family from Massachusetts down to Raleigh, North Carolina, and I'm all moved in. I have my shop set up, and going to try to start making some videos. And video number one will be finishing the Z1R, finally. And thanks for watching. See ya. Okay, well, here are the two coils I took out. This one was working. This one one works, and that one does not. Well, I don't know what you call these. There's plug wires go into here. They both fire at the same time. So here are the replacements that I bought. The exact same thing. Couldn't find anything that really looked better. Anyway, I'm going to swap these two new ones in. Hopefully I have spark on all four cylinders. So before I start it, I'm going to put just a little bit of oil in each cylinder because it's been a year and a half since I spun it over. And I'm just a little worried about maybe if there's, it sat around a long time. So, and again, I don't want to pour any smoke. Just a little bit. So I fully charged this battery, but it does not look like it held up over the year and a half. Yep. Of sitting over the winter. So I'm going to have to get a new battery, but I do have a jump pack. Light does go out, so that's good. Okay, so now I'm going to check spark. Okay, so if we recall, you can see how three of the pipes are starting to get a little golden. This one is completely unvarnished, and that is because cylinder 4 was not firing. And so when I started it up and I was going to sync the carbs and put it in time, it ran like such garbage. I'm like, there got to be something wrong with it. So luckily it was only running on 3. So we'll see how it runs now. It's been a year and a half. I hope I put it together correctly. I better have. It costs enough money. Alright, so I've got remote fuel's in there. I'll put the choke on. It's about 85 degrees here in Raleigh. Before I go too much further, I want to check the timing. It firing on all 4, it sounded like a KZ1000, so that's cool. So I'm going to go set up the timing light and time it. Okay, good. So the timing was a little bit off, but not too bad, and I moved it just a little bit. and it came in. I think I've tried to film like the timing marks before, and it just doesn't show up on camera very well, so I'm not going to bother with that. But I think I can lock it down there. And so now it's in time. A little bit of oil that is shown up here. I'm not sure where that came from. It's not really over anything. It's funny, this pipe is not really turned color yet. But it's hot. And it's definitely running on 4, so I don't have to worry about that. So, yeah, it sounds to me like it's not, what am I looking at? Okay. Yeah, it sounds to me like it's not really idling very well. I was warned by the guy who sold me the carbs, he was an old school KZ1000 guy, that when you use the APE 410 cams or whatever they are, 510, 410, that you can have a rough idle. But I haven't tried to put them in sync yet at all. So I will go find the manual. Let's find the manual. Mustang. I've taken it out a few times. It's pretty fun to zip around in. Yeah, so what do I need to do? So I gotta find the Mikuni carburetor manual. I'll tell you, it's humid down here as shit. Okay, here's another thing I have to do is find a way to get this return spring to go onto the brake pedal. I gotta put the fluid in the rear brake, and hopefully it will work. Okay, there's the carburetor. Okay, flat slide Mikunis. Yes. 86 Kawasaki. I was wondering where this went, so that's where that went. All right. Got it there. So I know I have to make a gas line for it, and so I sync the carbs, make the gas line, and then reinstall this thing here, which is the actuator that goes into the master. You remember I put the master on and it leaked. So I will set it up to do the carb sync now. Make sure this goes to 0. It's funny, in Massachusetts I don't remember this moving much at all, or ever. But here in Raleigh I've used it once, this pressure gauge. And seems like every time I use it it's different. Which makes sense because the outside pressure varies a little bit. There's a lot of moisture in the air down here. So reference carburetor is number 3, that is this one. And you sync the other 3 to cylinder number 3. I don't know how much of this I'll be able to show, or how much you're going to see, but I'll just try to show a little bit here. Hopefully they're in sync. Alright, so it looks like 2 and 3 are synced pretty well, 1 and 4 need to be adjusted. But I just remembered that the idle fuel screw I remember on one of them it was like half a turn, as where all the other ones were 1.5 turns. I better check that. I think that's about as good as we're going to get it. Took me a little bit to figure this out. Here's a nut on the outside, and you would think the nut is the lock nut. The nut is the adjuster, and the screw in the center seems to lock it down. So it stayed pretty consistent. Very little vacuum on the reference carburetor. 1 and 4 had about 5 pounds. So I think the reference carburetor had 2, 1 and 4 had 5, and carburetor 2 was in sync with 3, the reference carb, at 2 pounds. So I think that's going to be good. So I gotta button all this up, make a fuel line, and put the gas tank back on. Okay, I've got the gas tank situation sorted out. Made up a fuel line. So if you can see it, it's right there. Fuel kind of has to travel uphill. Maybe I need to shorten that other one. Yeah, I'm gonna end up having to do that. Well, whatever. Okay, so I gotta fix that. Right. So, ooh, I don't know why that's on. So the other thing is the rear brake. So the rear brake master cylinder that I had paid to have rebuilt, other than doing it myself, leaked. And the guy said he was using a new seal manufacturer, and that's probably why it was. So I sent it back to him. He sent me one of these. So hopefully this does not leak. So I know I have this problem with the needing a spring. So I had come up with, my buddy John had told me basically this is how he did his. So you put a spring in that pushes against the body of the master cylinder, and you use these washers so you have a standoff. Well, that just did not seem to work very well. It worked, but the linkage didn't seem to like it. I don't know really what else to say about that. It occurs to me that there's a boot, which is right here. I don't know how I keep my memory of where all this crap is. Alright, so that goes like that. There's a boot that goes on there. So the return spring. I think that if so I've got the return spring that belongs on it. Let me put this in here. Let's see in here. So it's not a great filming location. So this is the stock return spring for the stock brake pedal, which is a very long thing. If I put it in here, and this goes down, so when you press the brake in, it goes like that. So I can catch this on here, and this goes against the frame, and that would act as a spring, so it kind of works. I stick it in like that. Bear with me here. So if it goes like that, it does work as a return spring. So So I kind of need to make this end into a hook. So I'm going to see if I can do that. So I'll try it first without any heat. I don't know if this is going to work. I might have to heat it up. Hook this end here. Might be enough. I don't know. Try that. Yeah, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see, but there's that. Try that. Alright, so after about 2 hours of messing with that spring, and it's still messed up, that thing is going to work itself loose. I'm going to have to put some wire on that. Anyway, I modified the spring. I shortened it to make it have more tension. And then I bled it. The bleeding process, no problem. The mass cylinder is not leaking, so that's good. And so I can go like this. And I have some kind of brake. It's way down there. I tried adjusting the angle of this. And you see how there's like a space between here and here. So if I take this and I move, if I move the pedal in relation to this arm up, then it ends up sticking up in the air. And so that's no good. So that's how it's going to be. But I have back brake. I have an engine that runs. I have it all synced. It sounded good. I am just missing a battery. I can't take it anywhere because if it happens to shut off, this is what happens. So I guess I could push start it, but I don't want to do that. So I ordered a battery and I'll hopefully be able to drive it next week. I think that it's done. I hope it's done. Spent a ton of money on it. It should be done. Anyway, that's it for now. Well, pretty good first ride. The rear brake, I bled it a little more. It's a little better. It needs to be bled all the way through. As I was riding it, the speedometer cable fell out. I guess I didn't put that in well enough. Hopefully I can get to it over here. I think I can. So that have to go back in. Put gas in it. Drove it around how many miles? So 6 miles. I didn't want to get too far from home. The idle is hunting a little bit. I turned the idle up. I turned the idle down. I think it has to, run a little bit. Here's some of my sandblasting material coming out of the fins. Apparently I didn't get that clean enough. Yeah, like I said, this needs to be bled. Hopefully it's just a matter of bleeding it. I think it is. It seemed to be, I didn't take it too much over 6,000 RPM. Up at 6, it seems to have its power, 5, 6, 7. It just, I didn't want to, push it too hard right off the bat. But up at that RPM, giving it more than a quarter throttle, it was ready to go. Seemed like when I got on it at lower RPM, it was stuttering a little bit, so not 100% sure what's going on with that. I'm just going to take it slow with it. But in any case, it's all together, and I can actually take it for a cruise now, which is nice. And yeah. So hopefully, maybe I'll make another video with me like driving it. Maybe I can get my wife to drive alongside me or something. But for now, I think it's done. Well, hey, thanks. It was a short video. I struggled with that brake spring for like 2 hours. You didn't want to see that. It's just me getting really annoyed, as I kind of do sometimes. So finally the Z1R is done, and I can hop on it and go for a ride. And that's great. The amount of money I spent on that thing, I should be able to drive it. And so finally I have a motorcycle I can drive. And so what's coming up next? I have the SL125, it's right here. I'll start with the 1 or 2 videos from Massachusetts, and then I'll finish it here. It's not finished yet. Then there's a KX80. I don't know if I'll show that first or for a second, but that'll be the next one. Is a KX80 that I 89 KX80 that I went through, and that's not finished yet either. So that will start up in Massachusetts and finish down here. And also at some point I'll show a video of like the property. I have some land here, which I can drive around on a dirt bike maybe, once there's a path. Hopefully also I'm going to have a garage built. And so this garage is about the same size as the garage I had in Massachusetts. But there's no storage, so up above is my office and another bedroom. So there's not a lot of storage. There's like this cave of, it's kind of like a basement, but they don't really have basements down here. Anyway, you'll see it. I'll show where I have all my parts stashed, like 15 motorcycles worth of projects. But hopefully I want to have a garage built, and I think I'll show the layout of the house and where I'm trying to build it and stuff like that. But for now, thank you for watching, and see you later. Bye.